Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking in for today's video. And guys, today we're going to be talking about how the entire movement to get forward-facing sonar Livescope band has just went viral over the last day or two. Been some new developments on that I want to bring you guys up to speed with, so I think you're going to find it pretty interesting here. And guys, real quick before we get started, I just wanted to remind you, I don't know if you heard that 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, I started my third YouTube channel called Advanced Bass Fishing with Randy Blockett. And this is an expert level YouTube channel. It's just for highly skilled bass anglers only. I'm sharing a lot of the most complicated, complex aspects of bass fishing. I've already put 2 videos up. I'm only putting 1 video up a week, and they're like an hour long, sort of like a seminar. So if you guys would like to subscribe to the channel and help it get going, much appreciated. I'll put the link in the description. So thanks for that there. Okay guys, here's what's going on. You guys have seen I've been posting quite a bit on this the last couple of days on this whole Livescope deal. Guys, the Bass Pros, what has happened is the Bass Pros they're finally coming out of the closet. You know, we're finding out right now that most of the, well, I don't know the exact percentage, but a lot of the tour level, Elite Series pros, MLF pros, all that type of stuff, Bass Pro Tier pros, even if they use forward-facing sonar, they don't like it. They don't want it. They see how bad it is for the sport. They see how it's undermining viewership. They see the fan comments. The fans hate it. The fans can't stand it. And over just the last 2 days, guys, there has been a huge pushback against it publicly. If you guys go through social media right now, even, you know, non-tournament anglers, that's all you hear about. Is it finally is off the ground. We have been working, you guys know I've been working for 2 years to get it to this point. Nobody said it was going to happen, and now we got the momentum, guys. We have the momentum right now to get this stuff banned or limited if Bassmaster and MLF will listen to the fans. Now, the problem that you have on this is a couple different things here. First of all, the electronic companies are panicking. They're putting gag orders on all their pros. Don't expect to see, if you see a pro that is not talking about the fact that they want to see forward-facing sonar banned, just see who their sponsors are. If they're aligned with Garmin, Humminbird, Lowrance, electronic companies, don't expect them to say anything, because those guys are going to get a gag order put on them. It's just, they're not allowing their pros to say anything about it. They're just having to bite their tongue with it. And they're panicking, I think, because they think they're going to lose money. But guys, they're not. Here's the thing about it. Electronic companies, they can still sell side imaging, down imaging, 2D sonar, GPS, trolling motors. It's not that big of a deal. But the tournament organizations, Bassmaster and MLF, they have got to listen to this pressure that's coming on. We are seeing huge protests in the form of people making social media posts vocalizing the fact they don't want to see it. They do not want to watch tournaments with Livescope on it. They've made that very, very clear out there. And I can promise you guys, all of Bass Live, all of the live coverage, when they're live scoping, their viewerships are tanking on that. Nobody wants to see it. And you can't allow those electronic companies to intimidate the tournament organizations to ignore what their viewing public wants. Because I'll go back to the same thing again. If I was an advertiser with a major tournament organization and I saw the fact that viewerships were not doing very good, and I pay attention to social media and I see 90% of the people say we don't want forward-facing sonar, we think it's bad for the sport, we think it's bad for the sustainability, this isn't what bass fishing is like, we don't want to see it. If the tournament organizations ignore the public outcry against it, who would want to be part of the advertising community with that? So here again, I'll say it one more time, Bassmaster and MLF, here's your chance to hit a home run in the terms of public image and getting the excitement of the sport back. You want to see your ratings skyrocket, and you want to see, you know, every aspect of the sport take off, then get rid of Livescope, get rid of forward-facing sonar, tell them next year that we've evaluated this entire thing, we don't feel like it's the positive direction for the sport, and start going back to venues and encouraging the old school stuff like swimming a jig, throwing a buzzbait, throwing a spinnerbait, flipping a jig in flooded bushes. Put the anglers in positions on those lakes where they can showcase those talents, where it's exciting. And guys, you will see, or tournament organizations, you will see your ratings take off. your advertising value, the number of impressions you're going to build for your advertisers are going to go up. And it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to break these electronic companies because, again, they have tons of other products that they can promote through the organization. So anyway, guys, it has literally went viral the last 2 days. My feeds are blowing up. I see feed after feed and post after post about people talking about how, you know, it's time that we got the momentum. It's time to put forward-facing sonar, you know, to bed for good. And I'm really encouraged. Now, we'll see how it remains, guys, because right now you've got this internal battle. You're going to have an internal battle between the tournament organizations not wanting to alienate the electronic companies. You're going to have the electronic companies not wanting to cut back on any of their profit margins that they're making with forward-facing sonar, regardless of the fact how it's hurting and damaging the sport and it's hurting the viewership. And then you've got the public outcry that do not want it. They do not want to watch Livescope tournaments. So you've got this battle here, and we'll see if the good fight wins in the end. And the good fight, like I said, would be for MLF, Bassmaster, all the other tournament organizations, NPLF, all the smaller ones, to say, you know, after we've seen this unfold for the last 3 or 4 years with Livescope forward-facing sonar. There's no positives to it. It's hurting our viewership. It's hurting the ratings. It's hurting the fish populations. It's hurting the tradition of the sport. It's creating an income disparity amongst anglers that can afford it versus people that can't afford it. It's taking away the mystery and the magic of the sport. We don't have any unknowns before. Now there is no unknowns as far as where fish live, and you have got to have mystery in fishing. If you don't have mystery in fishing and that wonderment, not knowing if there's a fish up in front of you or not, then you're missing what fishing is about. So point of, guys, I will put Bassmaster and MLF phone numbers and emails in the link in this description. I encourage everybody out there to email them and call them and voice your support for having it banned from the tournaments. And we'll get back to some real bass fishing and get serious about protecting the sustainability of our fisheries. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys.